Hello and welcome back everybody to another All the Mods 9 beta stream. Let me mark myself as streaming here. Sorry for anybody who dealt with the little mess I had the past 10-15 minutes. I was trying to try out AV1 encoding again because I had been really excited for it. I was really looking forward to using AV1 encoding. But I have a problem where whenever I try to AV1 encode, the stream will be fine for a minute or so, and then the bitrate drops all the way down to 0. And it's not on my ISP or anything. It's got to be something with Stream Elements, or it's got to be something with YouTube not wanting to receive the AV1 stream. But guys, here we are back on the beta server. You can join, IP's in the description. A little bit's happened since the last stream. You'll notice we finally have a temp pad. For those who don't know, there's two versions of the temp pad in the game. There is the craftable one with a 3-minute cooldown between teleports. And there is the one with no cooldown, but you have to essentially loot it from the end. And it's really rare. Well, it's supposed to be. It's rare for me and not for anybody else. I was hanging out in Discord with a few of the viewers and a few of the players of the server, and I was looting and looting end cities like crazy. Couldn't get a temp pad. Well, other players have gotten multiple temp pads, and Donut was kind enough to spare us one. Something I've noticed with the temp pad, it seems to link up to any waystones you have, which is interesting. And for those who don't know, you can only see this effect with shaders off. So I'm going to turn off my shaders real fast. Hotkey K. When you run it, it's supposed to be the temp pad from, it's the Marvel Universe, the Time Police that, you know, the series Loki has been part of. But if I go ahead and open this, it opens up a portal, and you step through it, and you teleport. If you have shaders on, that portal doesn't render. You just have to remember the direction you were looking and walk forward. So this is amazing. Amazing for teleportation. Only comes from the end. It was the main thing I made a luck looting set for to try to get, and we didn't get it. But Donut, super kind, gave us one. I learned something. For those who don't know, the All the Mods star was craftable while it was using GregTech. That is how Donut Community got all the mod stars. And they made enough materials beforehand to also get they have Starry Bees going, and they're just pumping out all the mod stars. Well, since Mechanism came out and they changed the All the Mods star recipe to use Mechanism, it turns out the star is not craftable right now. And that is because of these blocks right here. This is part of the Dimensional Seed. It's the one I usually make first in the All the Mods star recipe because it is simply a do you have the resources kind of recipe. But there is a problem. So as you can see, it requires a miniature nether portal and a miniature end portal. Let me get more comfortable here. And if we take a look here, the portal's pretty cheap for where we are in the game. But it says Nether Infused Teleportation Core. For those that have played like All the Mods 8 and such, you know that the Nether infusion is done with Elemental Craft. We don't have Elemental Craft in the game in this version of All the Mods 9 yet. And sure enough, if you look at the recipe for it, it just gives you the recipe for a teleportation core. It does not show the infusion. You cannot make a nether infused teleportation core or a end infused teleportation core. So the Altamont Star is not craftable in version 0.1.12. Donut Community, however, has so many stars that when they put portals at everyone's base, they put all the mod stars. I'm not going to touch this star. In the sense, like, I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to turn it into anything. It will just stay in the frame until we achieve our own star. But I guess that gives us time to work on getting 18 of every block of every part of the craft. Because for those who don't know, you need 2 all the mod star blocks in order to get the bees up and running to produce the stars. Because you need 1 block to turn a Patrick bee into a starry bee, and that starry bee needs to flower off of a all the mod star block. But anyway, part of getting all the parts we need for the star and doing all the quests, I decided it's finally time we upgrade our essence production. Now, we have been working on bees. We're going to be using bees and essence because there's some things bees can do that essence can't, and some things essence can do that bees can't. I did end up finally getting Metaternal on both of these rancher bees. And I have a simulation Omega running here with 3 Pokey gene samplers. And all my genes I've been getting because I'm also doing it for the Draconic bees, Pokey, and a simulator. And 1 Pokey and some speed for Skulk. The genes are all going to a partitioned disk drive down here, the kind that doesn't have a type limit. You just put 1 gene in and add a fuzzy card, and all the genes go in there. And for those unfamiliar with genes and bees, we have a look here. They come out in different percentages. So this is like 4%, 2%, 1%. And there's a couple ways you can put the genes together to get the higher types. For instance, these 2% normals you put in your crafting inventory and you get a 4%. Well, the gene indexer from the mod, you just throw all of your genes in. Let's make sure we get all of them. I think that's all of our genes in the system. Eventually we can just export these. And you provide the indexer with a redstone signal, and while it's powered, it will do all the combining for you. And what we're trying to get, because it's all percentage based, is 100% of genes. Because genes have a use, 2 uses. The first one is you combine a gene with a honey treat, and the percentage of the gene is the percent chance that when you feed the honey treat to a bee, it will receive that trait. The other use for these type genes, which if we come here, it's like this gene sample Skulk. It doesn't show it here, but if I type in Skulk, oops, and we look at the Skulk bee, we know how to convert them to make them, but you can also take a honey treat that is 100% in the incubation chamber, 100% of that type of bee with an egg, and you get a spawn egg, which is really nice. I mean, we're probably going to just get some more draconic bees and such. But I thought it'd be fun to try to use the genes. But the one we're most going for right now is Mediternal. For those who don't know, you can either have when you're looking at the bees, you either have diurnal, or actually, I don't think I even have the night. I can't remember the name of it. It's diurnal and nocturnal, meaning they only work during the day or they only work during the night. But mediternal means that they will work day and night, which is what I want. And you get it by leaving the bees out. We had them tied up overnight, multiple nights, and eventually they become mediternal. You have to make sure you keep healing them though, but we've already gone over all that. So we've got mediternal and rain tolerance on these guys, and for them to flower, because they're rancher bees, I had to put cows in front for the simulation. So we're actually getting milky comb, I believe. Yeah, milky comb, which is kind of funny. But there you go, folks. That is what's been going on with the bees. I did make myself a staff of traveling with an ender crystal and put some anchors around the base so I could get around faster. Just home, bees, and mech. And then we have producing here. You'll notice this is bound to a pressure reaction chamber. We are producing, oops, not the travel anchor. If we go to the reactor and the storage here, we are producing plutonium. And we turn the plutonium into plutonium pellets. It's really, plutonium's the easy one. The polonium is the one we're working on now. I wanted to start with that before we head to the beyond. I don't think it'll take much time. The big thing that makes polonium more of a chore. Polonium coming from a solar neutron activator, but it requires HDPE. HDPE comes from the pellets, which comes from pressured reaction of substrate, oxygen, and water, and substrate comes from the pressurized reaction of hydrogen, water, and biofuel, and eventually just substrate again. I got a bunch of biofuel made because it's super easy. You just crush plants, and we had like 200,000 carrots. So I came over to my crushing factory, I added biofuel, and we got ourselves about 20,000 biofuel. So the next step is a pressure reaction chamber. Wait, I could swear I have the pattern. Did I spell something wrong? Oh, there it is. Pressurized reaction chamber. We need 2 of them. And if we have a look at the port usage here from the main line, we're only at 5. So we can put both of them right here. And we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're gonna be just right here. Let's get our 2 pressure reaction chambers. And I'm going to start off with the upgrades. So they only take energy and speed. Why don't I just type upgrade? So we need 2 energy, 2 speed. So energy, energy, speed, speed. And I do want the configuration card to make this easier from Mechanism. because we'll just configure these to be the same of their item config. I don't want them outputting out the side. The item config is going to auto eject out the back. And as for the gases, I don't want anything on other than input the top. We'll do input output, that's fine. I don't know why you'd need auto eject because there's not really a gas left over in what we're doing. There we go. Top, back, top, fluids, top. And we'll go ahead and copy that and paste it. Perfect. Now what we need is to wire these up. In our network systems here, we're going to need 2 interfaces and 2 export buses, like so. And for cleanliness sake, let's grab some anchors. I like to do my anchors. So we already know we've got a cable running down here. So I'm going to place 1 and 2, and that's actually going to be the end of this row. We'll go interface, interface. And then put some cabling here. And what we're going to go for is this export bus on each of these. The first one is going to make substrate. Substrate being biofuel, hydrogen, water. So let's go ahead and type in biofuel. But I want the one from mechanism. Oh, is it called biomass? Nope. What is it called? Oh, there it is. Biofuel, water, and hydrogen. Oh, you know what? We need to do it. Same dealio. We need a chemical tank. And we'll hover over our hydrogen. Take a little bit of it. Come over here and right click it. Set it to hydrogen. Set this to round robin. So it's all coming in like here. Then in the next one, we need substrate, water, and oxygen. So I'm going to store the hydrogen back, grab some oxygen, and set it. Perfect. Now these do need some power. If we come down here, stupid auto step would let me. Let's grab some ultimate universal cable and bring it over this way and up. So this one will start producing substrate. This one will start producing HDPE pellet. And I've already came over to the enriching chamber and added 3 pellet equals 1 sheet. You save on pellets using the enrichment chamber. Let's store everything, get our inventory all nice and clean again. But now we should be able to request a solar neutron activator. Perfect. And I'm going to put this guy, because he needs a line of sight to the sky. We are doing it here at the base, but we're not using the material here at the base, and you'll see what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and put him down. And some of you may have noticed I grabbed, or I shouldn't say grabbed, when we went to the reactor area, there was a prepared quantum entangle block. And what we're going to do is I have copied this entangle location. We're going to head to the reactor. I will just home reactor. Go into our waste area and boop, paste down our solar neutron activator. Then I'm going to grab some pipe and some nuclear. Well, I was going to do the waste, but we could actually, if we look at polonium, once you have the polonium, we need to, for making the pellets, we need to go into another pressurized reaction chamber. I might actually just get that down here. Another pressurized reaction chamber. And I'm going to put it, let me decide here. I might put it here, and then we'll need to go tell this. We'll go see if this can push. Let's head back home. Head up to our mech reactor, or mech area. Come over here and tell it on the gases to auto eject to the right. Then we'll sleep so that this gets producing. And hopefully no, it doesn't want to work through the entanglement. We will do this instead. I'll move the reaction chamber up. We'll grab the power and the chemical, put it underneath, and say gases input, energy input there, fluids, yep, everything is good. The question is, why isn't the polonium? Oh, you know what we need to do? We need to head back home. Up here. And because we don't know the exact orientation of where it is, I'm just going to set input output on all of these. I'm not sure why the... Oh, wait, gases. Perfect. There we go. Okay, so this is working. Our polonium's coming here. And we need to get to this guy, water and fluorite dust, which is exactly what we've already done with this one. So I'm just going to entangle him and head to our mech area. And we set it up here for plutonium, but the polonium, we're at 7 of 8 and 8 of 8 on this cable. Oops, that was not what I should have done. Let me sneak and reveal this. we're going to start another row. And that is where our polonium processing is going to take place. So let me grab another entangled block. And get our pressurized reaction chamber with polonium in it. We'll extend out this cable. Because we're almost done with everything we need with mech right now. And I'm going to put a cable here, and then we need to extend out this cable. Which will come down here. Perfect. We'll put the covers down here in a minute. I can just do the ones I have. That's gonna have to be good enough for now. Let's get this up and running. So we need to export to our pressurized reaction chamber, water, and fluorite dust. Fluorite dust. Hello, Kushi. How are you? So we're going to grab water and fluorite dust. Place our acceleration cards. And set this to round robin. Hello, Kushi. There is a bit of a delay between my stream. So I'm seeing your chats and then you'll hear my response. What do you need help with? And fluorite dust we are crafting. So I'm going to put a crafting card. You're from India? Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. What can I help you with? And we want to just receive the... I don't want to try to push through an entangled block. I'm going to put a import bus here. A little bit of acceleration. And then what we're going to do how to download Zaldamod 9. The CurseForge link is in the description of the stream, Kushi. You can use that link to get CurseForge, and you need to have CurseForge installed. I'm going to set output on my back here. And there we go. You'll notice we're taking the nuclear waste too. There's a little secret to that. And we're actually storing the nuclear waste in our ME system without a nuclear waste storage cell, which is a little cheaty. And in fact, I think I have some plutonium too. But for some reason, so mega cells to store radioactive chemicals, you need the radioactive storage cell. But supercells just work. You can just get it. Oh, okay. See you later, Cushy. Little secret for you guys there. There we go. We now have plutonium and polonium pellets. Which the main reason we were going for these... Oh gosh, the lag. It like super freezes your screen when you look at these recipes, and I still don't know why. If we come to our quests, we need them for a fusion reactor and a SPS machine, supercritical phase shifter. But that's where we're going to stop for now that we are producing polonium and plutonium. And I think there was one other thing I wanted to make. Which was going to be the mega radioactive storage cell. But we don't need it. Supercells just store it. So let's see what this guy's selling. Nothing we care about. Let's clean up this area, and then we're going to head to the Beyond. Now, the Beyond, for those who are unaware, uninitiated, there's 3 all the mods, the Allthemodium mod. 3 dimensions. You have the mining dimension by placing the ATM teleporter in the overworld. You have the other, which you get from placing the teleport pad in. Does that look okay? That looks fine. What you get from placing the teleport pad in the nether. Well, the Beyond, my friends, comes from placing the teleport pad in the end. The Beyond being a void dimension. I've gone ahead and came out here to claim myself a chunk. And nothing spawns in this dimension. So you might be wondering, how do you get a block down? Well, I used construction wands. A lot of people don't know that there's rather advanced settings for these wands. The default being that you can combine the wand with construction cores. And if you look at uses, there's a whole, if you sneak, control, right click the air, there is all your placement options and you can change which core you are using. I've added an angel core, which allows you to place blocks in midair. That's how we got this block. Now, I wanted to do a little test of what the build limits here in the Beyond are. Now, as you can see, the shadows are a bit difficult to deal with shaders on. But I really don't like how the place looks with shaders off. I believe we can change how the shaders look, though. If I come into shader pack settings, atmosphere. Oh, I actually don't see the setting I was hoping for. I guess I will have to mess with it later. But if we stand on this side, we can actually see what we're doing. So I want to see if this goes to the -64. Because we are only going to build within one chunk, and what we're building out here is my essence farm. Okay, looks like it does go to -64, and I actually do want to start at the bottom and work my way up. So I'm going to grab a build tool. Building gadget. Sneak right click cobblestone. I don't think it can. Okay, it can pull from the dank, which is perfect. And we're going to build it down to the build limit. Okay, so right here is the bottom of the world. If we pull open the chunks, let's outline our chunk here. Beyond definitely looks weird. Kind of looks almost, it also looks like the AE2 dimension. What I need to add, I need to find the shader setting and make this look better for you guys, because otherwise it looks like this. But maybe we'll just look like this for a moment. Let's outline the chunk and clean this up a little bit. And here is where the farm is going to start. I have a few plans. We are going to use lily pads of fertility in combination with crystal growth accelerators. Well, now they're just called growth accelerators. To hyperfarm essence. And I want a full platform for each essence. That is going to, we're going to use, everyone's using the harvest pylon because it AoE harvests, but it throws the items in the world, which causes lag. So I'm not going to use the harvester pylon, even though that would technically probably be better in this situation. We're going to use the actual harvester from mystical agriculture because it puts the loot in its inventory that we can pull out. It doesn't drop it in the world, which is what I want. Now, a harvester by default isn't that great. It only does a 3x3 area. Well, you can tier these up. It doesn't show it here or in JEI, so a lot of people don't know this. I'm going to head back home. I do like my base without shaders too. I think it looks pretty good. But I like my shaders. So I'm going to turn them on. Take a snooze, and we're going to make a harvester. Well, let me rephrase that. We're going to have the AE system make a harvester because I am lazy. We're going to need diamond scythes as a pattern, and we're going to need a machine frame as a pattern. Now, the harvester is actually similar to a couple of the other mystical agriculture machines in the fact that the harvester can take upgrades. If we come to mystical agriculture, there is upgrades, and you'll notice we can get up to a 9x9 harvest area with Awakened Supremium upgrade. So we're going to need upgrade bases. And if we look at the recipe, none of them are that difficult until Awakened. Because I have not been automating Awakened Supremium. I need to make an Awakened Supremium B. And an Awakened Supremium B is 4 Awakened Supremium blocks and the essences, which is a Supremium B, which is all the blocks, which is an Imperium B, which is a Tertium B, which is a Prudentium B, which is an Inferium B. We'll get there. We'll make them. It all comes from a Prospera B, which you'll notice, to get the spawn egg, we need the gene. So we need to start getting the Prospera B genes. We do that by giving a crystalline B a prosperity block to get a Prospera B, not the egg, just the B. Then we harvest enough genes to 100% Prospera B a chicken egg to get the spawn egg. Then we tier it up. So we're gonna get some Prospera Bs. Now I should already have some crystalline Bs right here. And we're gonna breed 5 of them. Should only need this many more flowers, and we will time in a bottle this. Let me put my building stuff away. A little faster. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want them to be grown up, so I'm going to grab some more honey tree. And we're going to speed this up. Make them all adults. And there we go. So we've got these these crystalline bees. Then we need 5 prosperity blocks, which I don't know why I don't have a pattern for. I'm going to make a pattern, make this easier on myself. We've already got 1. We need 4 more. Heyo, how are things going? Says Gabe. They're going good. Good indeed. We're going to take our Prospera bees and set them up for gene harvesting so we can eventually make an awakened Supremium bee. Now, currently, we're trying to get enough Metaternal, so I'm not going to touch that one. We are full here, so I think it's time we set up another advanced oak beehive, one that doesn't have zombies and skeleton bees in there. Oh, you know what I didn't mention from the last stream? Guys, I messed up. You don't put like the dirt nest, the gravel nest in darkness to get skeletal bees and zombies. You put advanced beehives in darkness to get them. And we have gotten skeletal bees and zombies. We need to use the skeletal bee to make a wither bee to make a... Let's come over here to our productive bees. We need to make a skeletal to make a withered to make an Aldemodium bee. We'll do that, just probably not in today's episode. Let's get some oak expansion boxes. And I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the beehives. Set these to pole. And then we just need feeding. And our block. We're going to need a gene sampler and a simulator. In fact, you know what? I'm going to get a bunch of... I'm going to put simulators in all of these. So I just need 1 more. We're not making the next tier of things yet. We'll get there eventually. I like to take my time with bees. Really work on the genes before I go too crazy. The Prospera bees, we're after the genes. So I need Poke gene samplers. The more you have, the higher the chance. So we could put 3 with a simulator, but I also want it to go a little faster, so I'm going to do 1 speed, 2 Poke. And the Prospera bee, why don't we see what it flowers off of? It's probably going to be a prosperity block. Yep. We'll put a prosperity block here in the feeding trough, feeding slab, and put in all of our Prospera bees. So now we should start getting the Prospera bee gene essence, which we will use to make the spawn egg, which we will use to tier up to awakened Supremium bee. But in the meantime, back to the machine upgrades. In order for us to use the harvester, let's get up to Supremium. So I'm going to make a pattern for Supremium upgrade. Imperium, Tertium, Prudentium, Inferium, and Base. And the Supremium upgrade will get us to 8x8, or well, actually it puts 5. So instead of 3x3, I mean, we'll check the area in a moment. Well, let's just get a bunch of these made because we're going to need tons of them. And I mean tons of them. For our lag-friendly super essence farm. Because the base harvester is 3x3, the +5 area, I think it adds 5 on each side. So it'll go from there to being 6, 7, 13x13? 8x8 or 13x13. We'll find out when we test it. This will take a second to craft. Because I can already tell it is not using yeah, it is not using multiple CPUs. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna take Inferium. And I'm going to make my block to Inferium pattern. And, oops, I'm going to make a few of them. And spread them out among my multiple crafters that are available. And that should greatly increase the speed of crafting 40 of these. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Look at that. That's how you do it, folks. Should probably do the same with Prudentium, but oh well. Should we just go, should we craft one so that we can use it on the stream, and then we'll craft the 40 later? Why is this not, it's got 28 co-processors. Why isn't it working? Oh, I've only got one master infusion crystal. We need more master infusion crystals for it to be working on multiple things at a time. We'll have to make some more master infusion crystals. So we crafted our first one manually. Yeah, we'll have to add a couple more since now we're finally really dealing with essence. But I think our Supremium upgrade is on its way, should be done here momentarily. Shouldn't take too long. And we're going to run a little test. We're going to see what the range of this is. I'm just going to place it right here. Because I haven't used these in like 2 years, 3 years. I just know how much more lag friendly they are than the harvest pylons, with how the pylons throw the items in the world. These ones do not. But we've got to test it. And I wish it had a... I wish it had a highlight work area, but I don't think it does. Oh, it makes a path? Dang it. Let's take a hoe instead. So we know the 3x3. And then it says +5. So the question is, does that make it 5x5? No, that would be one upgrade. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, which is already actually kind of the size I want, the size I need. But we're going to test it by putting some seeds down. I guess I don't need to till there, but I just want to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The question is, does it only go 5 in that direction, or does it come all the way out? 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds. So here's how we're going to test it. We'll take the upgrade, because I believe this works in with regular Minecraft seeds. And I will just bone mill these corners and see if it harvests them. Oops. And yep. Okay, it came all the way to the corner. So we don't even really need the awakened. We would only need the awakened to expand to a full chunk size, but I don't think we need to go that big. But the benefit of the speed of the awakened. We go from 40x to 200x. So we're going to go for awakened, and we're going to plan on coming all the way out to the max size, which if we just look at it, is 15 by 15 area. So that is what we're working with in the Beyond, is a 15 by 15 area. Now that we know that, I need to see if we have been gathering everything necessary for lily pads of fertility. Obviously, we can make all the lily pads we want because of our nature essence. But fertile essence, this is where we have not been gathering slime pearls. Slime pearls we can get from a loot fabricator of slimes. So the next step for our ultimate essence farm in the Beyond is to start farming slime pearls. So I need a data module, and I need slimes. Luckily, I already have some slime eggs. Let's place the little guy, the big guy down. Get the slime model and put it in our deep learner. And let's go ahead, get all of the information here, and looks like they finally fixed slimes. Oh, that's good. Hey, the more you know, everybody, slimes are fixed, which is good. Let's take that data module and throw it over in a open simulation chamber. And we're going to add a loot fabricator for these pearls. So I'm just going to put it down here. And we'll come over here, and what I'm going to say is this one is only going to be inserted wither predictions. Where is it? Wither prediction. Oh, that's right. I have to do it manually. Oh, how did it get filled with Warden? Something didn't work right. Let's fix this. The extract was only supposed to be wither, but somehow it grabbed... Okay, I'm gonna set that hardcore to wither prediction. And we're gonna say this insert is wither prediction. And this insert is going to be slime prediction. Okay, so the wither's working. Slime's working, and we want pearls. We just need power, which I'm also doing with XNet. We'll come right here and just create an insert of power. And we'll get pearls. Now this needs a moment to start. It needs to level up the... How would you put it? It needs to level up the prediction module because I'm not going to level it manually. But once it gets going, it will it'll really start giving us these pearls. But what we can do is my favorite little time in a bottle. Really make this cook for a moment. And we'll try to get this up to self-aware as fast as we can. Oh, you know what? I shouldn't have put those predictions. Should have came here. All right, good enough. At least we're up to advanced 50%. That should give us a good amount of slime pearls. We already have a good amount. Now, the reason we need so many is we're going to use a lot of lily pads of fertility. I'm not going to lie. It is a large amount. And I want to see... Hey, we need rib bones too. And we need more catalyzing gland. Why don't we make hostile neural networks for those? Cliff says, is it just me? You only have 2 views? Yeah, a lot of my... I stream way too early in the morning for a lot of live views. Most of my views come afterwards. When the stream just becomes a video on my channel is where most of my views come from. But thanks for stopping by and for hanging out. I appreciate it. Let's head back to the Beyond. And what we'll do is prepare for the lily pads of fertility and prepare the first farm layer. So here we are, and right here we have 14 by 14. We now know we are going all the way to 15 by 15. So I'll chop out this side, and this is going to be the non-farm area and the farm area. Now here is the cool part for the plan. And that is using leaves. And you may be like, wait, why are we using leaves? Well, I'll show you. Let me go ahead and grab our infinity wand and let me change this to construction core. And I'm going to fill this area with leaves. We may have to get more leaves, but we can work with what we've got for now. Ooh, we may have just enough. We did. So for those that don't know, leaves can be waterlogged in such a way that when they're waterlogged, they don't spill their water in any direction, but they count as a block of water. Lily pads of fertility can be placed on top of waterlogged leaves, which is amazing. It's fantastic. So I'm going to take a fluid tank and I'm going to fill it with water by left clicking. And the sun is setting and I want to be able to see, so I'm going to turn off shaders for a little bit. But we're going to put this into bucket mode. Let me turn off waypoints off of my, so night vision toggle, hose tank toggle, storage accessor toggle, item mode we're keeping, that is what we are going for. Turn off waypoint manager. I'm going to put the tank into bucket mode and waterlog the leaves. This will contain the water in a single layer without having to add additional blocks. So no water is going to spill, which is what we're going for. And I'll just demonstrate here in a moment. Give me just a second. I'll throw this water down and I'll show how we can place a lily pad of fertility on the leaves. Luckily, the building gadget is going to be able to copy this much easier, which is fantastic. We only really have to build this one layer. Hey, Brian, how you doing? It says, hi, Fallen, hoping you are having a good day. Well, thank you, Brian. I hope you're having a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. And I appreciate you stopping by the stream. Sorry about the issues earlier if you were trying to watch. Turns out, still can't use AV1 encoding. But now we know, so. Here's a good example. Look at how the water doesn't spill out of the waterlogged leaves. So with one layer of containment, we can place lily pads of fertility with a one layer containment, which is awesome. Sun's rising, so I can turn the shaders back on. And we'll craft a few more. I'm going to have to get hostile neural networks set up for the other reliquary parts. But the plan is to have an entire layer of lily pads of fertility. And in the next layer, oh, all my dirt's being turned into compressed dirt. That's right. Oops. The next layer is going to be the farmland for growth. And the question comes down to, do we use insanium farmland, or do we use fertilized farmland with growth? Which you make the fertilizer. Where is it? It's like a redstone fertilizer. But yeah, that's what we're gonna have to decide on. I'm gonna have to run some tests to see what is truly faster, if we use red fertilizer or insanium farmland. And then we're gonna use crystal, or not crystal anymore, but just growth accelerators. And the method we're going to do this is, let's say this is the crop, but obviously it would be above. We are going to use 5 growth accelerators per crop. And the way that'll be done is each crop will have the 5 growth, or the 4 growth, and then 1 covering it, because the harvester... A harvester doesn't need to see the crop. And this right here is how it's going to be, but it'll be tiled. And then this layer right here will start the next layer of waterlogged leaves, lily pads of fertility, and onward for all the layers of seed up to the build height. So I'm really excited. This is my next mega build project. Unfortunately, I am out of time for all the mods 9 today, but I hope this was a bit informative for what we're going for. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed watching, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are in the world. And I'll catch you in the next stream. Bye-bye.